Hello everyone, my name is FlareBlitzed and welcome back to Aokana. We're on what is most likely Rika's route. The skies are clear, so we start off practicing the basics like usual. After that, I gather on everyone on the beach and a big announcement. Today, we're going to have fun practicing. The big word in there is F-U-N. Fun. What? Really? Are we going to have a sandwich eating contest? No. Never in my life have I ever heard of people practicing for a sandwich eating contest. Like, how do you even practice that? You build up an appetite when you go through your life. That sounds fun, like something out of an athletics meet. I guess it's kind of close. It is? Our practice would be similar to the blindfolded race. And never in my life have I heard of someone doing a blindfolded race at an athletics meet. It happens, trust me. Now you guys should pair up. Yep, of course that pairing's gonna be inevitable. Misaki and Mishiro. Mishiro jumps forward and lashes onto Misaki's arm. Misaki, senpai and I will stick together through thick and thin. Your love is just too much. That means I'm with you, Rika-chan. Oh yes, I look forward to working with you. Same here. Asuka copies Mishiro. Stop it! Don't learn from those two! Wait, don't learn from Mishiro. And hugs Rika's arm. Asuka notices how flustered Rika has become and lets go. Sorry, did I get too carried away? Oh no, it's not that. I just didn't know how to react to that. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. This isn't some apologizing contest. Yeah, the one who can apologize the most and the most sincere wins. So, sorry. Well, she's keeping it up even after being told off, I swear. This girl's way too diligent. And it shows in her playstyle too. Each pair will consist of one player and 1 second. Make sure you have your headsets on the right channel, okay? I'll be listening on both teams. Roger. So, are you going to tell us what to do now? You'll be flying in the opposite direction. The opposite? You mean inverted flight? No, inverted flight refers to flying with your back facing the water. I'm saying you guys will be flying away from what you're facing. You mean we'll be flying backwards? Isn't that a lot more difficult than flying normally? That's why your second will be giving you instructions. You should manage just fine as long as you work together. Gotta say, this sounds way more fun than our usual practice. Still, what's the point? It's to help develop your FC instincts, so you'll need to come up with an answer for that question on your own. Develop our FC instincts? Rika doesn't seem entirely convinced. This probably seems like a huge joke to her since she doesn't understand the real reason I'm doing this. Well, I'm sure they'll understand soon enough. You're not allowed to touch each other, so you can only score points from the boys. We'll start with Rika and Mishiro up in the air. Asuka and Misaki will act as their seconds. Roger. Understood. This is definitely a different act. At a different angle. Mishiro and Rika are lined up, floating by first with their backs towards second. This is nothing like their usual starting stances. Is this right? Perfect. Is it really perfect? I feel like super nervous here. My back feels cold, the breeze is chilly. Right, it's like when you forget to... Okay, on before leaving the house. I've never actually done that. I've never done that either. I'm just saying this is probably what it would feel like. Mishiro, you definitely have done that, haven't you? Mishiro, stop harassing Rika. I'm not doing anything wrong, just saying that's how nervous the situation makes me feel. Don't worry, I'll be sure to give you good instructions. You can do anything, Misaki-senpai. Rika-chan. Yes? I don't know if I can provide good enough instructions, but I'll do my best. Thank you. I'll do my best as well. Okay, let's do this. Ready, set, go! On my signal. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh my! They both cry out in confusion. Hey, Mashiro, what the hell are you doing up there? Are you alright, Rika-chan? The two of them have gotten off to a painstakingly slow start. To fly backward is hard. Sometimes you end up going backward in the flow of a match, but that feels more natural. Forcing myself to do it right from the start is a challenge. My mind can't keep up with all the things I have to think of, and I end up not having any idea what to do. But learning to think is part of our practice too, right? You don't need to think all that much right now. Just focus on trying to fly straight. Misaki's gesturing wildly as she instructs Mashiro. You gotta twist your spine, lean back hard, and push on. Just act like you're falling in charge. I doubt her over-eager instructions will lead to anything good. Still, this won't actually help them if I involve myself now. Charging ahead? Eek! Mashiro throws herself backwards. And all this... Control your legs? Ah! Mashiro-chan! She immediately does a backflip, then starts flying around in the air. Oh, dearie me, this is just an absolutely priceless moment. It was like that one other time in the store when she turned into a tornado. Whoa, 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 whoa. Stretch out your arms and legs to secure your center of gravity. Come on, this is the first thing you learn. Mashiro's rotation speed slows considerably after she stretches out like a star. Huh. She breathes a long sigh. See what happens when you just bark out orders without thinking, Misaki. Do things properly, okay? Fine. Keep flying slowly until you get used to it, Rika-chan. Okay. Rika's going painfully slowly. You're going a bit too far to the right. Lean more to the left. To the left? Understood. She twists her shoulders and slowly changes direction. No, left. Huh? I am leaning left. Asoka, you need to reference left and right from her point of view. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's such a silly mistake. Yeah, exactly. Oh no, I'm sorry I didn't realise. Your left and right are reversed when going backward. So that mistake isn't all that unexpected. In fact, this is good. They're having to think more already. Indeed, use your brain powers. I feel like an idiot after saying that. I feel like someone's staring at me, so I turn around. Hey there! Oh, it's Shindo-san. I didn't realise he was there, of course. I turn off my headset and walk over to him. You could have called out to me earlier. I didn't want to interrupt while you were coaching. This is a pretty interesting exercise. Not that I expected anything less from you. Just hope it gets results. I look back over to Rika as I say that. Eek! She screams as her back slams into the boy, sending her in reverse along the first line. Ouch! Comical. Utterly comical. Whoa, whoa, whoa! She then slams to Mashiro, who can't see her, and then recoils from that sends her back into the boy. Sorry! Oh, is this going to be a game of ping pong? She's like a pinball out there. Asuka and Misaki are frantically barking out orders, but things don't seem to be going well. I have them fly backwards to try and strengthen their balance. Yes. Good idea. Training their core should help them fly faster too. I wanted them to learn how to quickly regain their balance in a dogfight. I'm certain it will work out, but it all depends on if your players actually understand the true purpose of this exercise. How far can Rika go, and how much can I make her understand? If I simply explain everything to her, I won't train her mind. That said, without something to prompt her, there's a good chance she won't make so much progress. Are you making the others act as seconds to try and get them to view matches more objectively? That's part of it, yeah. But I also figure if they get used to giving orders, they'll get better at understanding them during matches. I get it. We practice dealing with surprises at Takafuji, too, but I never considered something like this. He's complimenting me? Or at least, I hope he is. I just hope this gets results. I'm glad that Shinda-san approves of my approach, but that's not enough to make me happy. I mean, I'm essentially fumbling for an answer here. That hasn't changed. What do you think of today's practice? It was fun. Definitely a lot different from normal though. Yeah, it was very fun. Maybe if you could do it. I was terrified out there. I just get spinning around and around. Sounds fun to me. Yes, maybe you're right. Don't go change your opinion to match Masaki's. Look, it makes sense that you are scared, okay? Rika. What do you think, Rika? Well, honestly, I didn't understand it. That's fine for now. Was there a real point behind it? There was. Coach would never make us waste our time. I see. My apologies. I suppose I'm the one who doesn't understand. Oh, I'm in the same boat. Actually, I just know it was fun. Really? I'm guessing he made us fly differently because it might come in handy. But I won't ask you to keep it up if you weren't having fun. Right. Rika nods, though she still doesn't seem to understand. Though Rika's been confused from start to end, I decided to finish practice for the day. Rika-chan went home alone today. Yeah, she said she had something to do. Our after practice meeting had turned into us just sitting around chatting. Honestly, Rika was probably confused by having her practice session completely overhauled all of a sudden. Maybe that's why she rushed off. She probably wasn't in the mood to chat. Did I mess things up? Should I have explained things more thoroughly? I'm sure she'll find it fun when she gets used to it though. Sure hope so. Thanks, Asuka. You've been a huge help. Oh no, flying with Rika-chan is super fun, so it's no big deal really. Watching her makes me realise I still have a lot to improve. Asuka's a great creative thinker, while Rika has the fundamentals down pat. They complement each other well. They may have gotten paired up by chance, but this has worked out perfectly. I'm counting you to help out Rika, Asuka. Yes, I'll do what I can to help Rika enjoy flying. I just can't stop thinking about it. Later that evening, I'm home. However, I still haven't heard anything from Rika. Normally she's asking me a whole load of questions about the day's practice by this point, but I've got nothing today, which leaves me with nothing to do but laze around. I should stop worrying so much. Indeed! I mean, worst case scenario, I can't just say something when I see her at practice. But somebody came to the door. Is that the doorbell? Masaya, I've got my hands full. Can you get it? I hear Mum call me from the first floor. She's probably cooking dinner. Okay. I get out of bed and head towards the stairs. And when I'm halfway down, then I cock my head. Hold up. This seems familiar. Indeed, it seems familiar. It was on the very first day that Rika moved into the neighborhood. Has something like this happened before? Yep, that was it. That was the one. I opened the door and see a girl with a deadly serious expression on her face. Yeah, this is just like the first time we met. Indeed it was, indeed it was. That was the event that kind of brought us together to this day. This girl, who's wearing cow mittens and holding a cow pot as she looks up at me, is none other than Rika Inchinose. So, is this stew? The pot contains something that doesn't really seem to fit the image of the person holding it. It seems like the sort of dense pork stew you'd find in a random bar. I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks delicious, but it seems like food fit for a rough man instead of someone as cute as Rika. Man, that's a huge shock. Rika breaks silence before I can think of anything to say. I made this pork stew, and I think it came out pretty well. It does look pretty damn great. Feels like I could taste it based on the smell alone. I use lots of brown sugar and potato sachu. It's similar to how they make tonkatsu on Kanoshima. I also used pork from Berkshire pigs that were raised in Kanoshima, which gave it a really rich flavour, so the taste of the fat should spread through your mouth as you chew. Oh, and I made sure to thoroughly cook it in a pressure cooker, which means the egg should be pretty tasty. Cool. Not sure why she's basically giving me her recipe right now. Wait, is this the reason she went home early? So, well, I'd love you to try some. Oh, okay. Thanks. I managed to convey my gratitude despite the stuttering. Also, would you mind chatting with me through our windows when you're done eating? Oh, I see. That conversation will probably take a while, so she prepared this dish to thank me in advance. I know she's diligent, but this is way more than what I'd expect. Do you want to talk about FC? Yes. Then I've got no reason to refuse. I am your coach, remember? Oh, thank you very much. Rika happily bows to me. If you'll excuse us, then... She came in and out like a storm. Oh dear. But the only trace of her that's left is one pot of beef stew in my hands. It's pork stew! I really hope I can ease her mind, especially since she gave me this. The warm, steamy scent of the stew wafts into my nose as I mull over my thoughts. But yeah, it tasted really, really good. Oh, I'm glad you liked it. Both my parents, but especially my... loved Rika's stew. Needs to say I did as well. In fact, it was so wonderful that I started to think all you really need in life is food that's the perfect mixture of salty and sweet. It tastes a lot different from what I'm used to. Were there a lot of special ingredients? You're probably thinking of a potato statue and brown sugar. I took a recipe from Kanoshima Tonkotsu and adopted it for stew. Oh right, you did mention that earlier. The most important thing with cooking is imagination. Don't just always go by the book. That reminds me, you came here from Kanoshima, right? We haven't really talked about her past before. Yes. So would you mind moving on to what I wanted to discuss? Oh okay, let's do it. Based on how quickly she's changed the topic, I get the feeling she doesn't want to talk about her time in Kanoshima. Was that exercise today something Shindo-senpai taught you? Not entirely, but it did help. I never practiced flying backward for so long. Figured. Would you mind telling me what the purpose was? Sure. I explained my thoughts to Rika. Rika's diligent personality means she has a flawless grasp on the fundamentals. On the other hand, she struggles when anything unexpected occurs. With that in mind, I try to create a totally unpredictable environment to train her to deal with the unknown. Also, it should help strengthen your communication with your second. Yes, I realise that. It made me think of how important a skilled second is. She gives me a firm nod. Well, I'm glad she at least understood that part on her own. Huh. What's with a long sigh? What, don't like my methods? I kinda assume she doesn't, given the way she acted during practice. And I can't really blame her. This must be way crazier than her usual practice at Takafuji. No, not at all. That sigh was... well... I was just thinking how pathetic I am. No, you're not. Don't you dare say that you're pathetic. You're not. Nobody is. What? I know where my own faults lie, but because I can't accept them, I never get any better. Sachirin Senpai once told me that this problem comes from my personality. Yeah, she mentioned that to me during the summer tournament. That conversation we had is related to why I'm coaching Rika now. But I was too obstinate and didn't act fast enough to cover up my own weakness. I wish I'd done something sooner. It's not your fault. No one wants to admit they have a major weakness. At this point, you just have to think about how to proceed. Honestly, I'm still unconvinced. Well, I'm glad you're being honest at least. It'd be weird if she suddenly accepted everything. Yeah! Her diligent nature is a huge plus at times like this, yep. But I'll do my best. With practice, it's good to put a lot of effort into practice. I'm going to become straight. What? You're not straight! No! Huh? She's going to become strange? What the hell does that mean? Playing by the book won't help me improve. So I'm going to try and become strange, you know, as in different. Okay, we've gone from one polar opposite to the other polar opposite here. Neither of the polar opposites are good. That's why you got a happy medium. That's what I need to do, right, Masaya-san? How should I put this? I was just mixing things up in practice to loosen Rika up a bit. So I'm glad it made her want to change. But this problem lies even deeper than I thought. I never thought she'd end up looking me dead in the eye and declaring that she's going to become strange. Did I just say something weird? Did I just say something strange? She stares at me as I remain silent. Gasped. At which point... I can't help it. It's hard not to laugh when she's saying that with a straight face. Masaya-san... Rika says my name, seeming even more confused. Sorry. I'm sorry. No, bad Masaya. Don't laugh when she's being all sincere. Instead, I need to tell her things that will make her have more fun. It's good that you're thinking so hard about what you need to be doing. But if you go too far, you risk being too stiff about it, which would make it pointless. So I need you to relax and let your hair down a bit. You know, it might be hard for you to do right now, but you should give it a try. Man, I'm starting to sound a lot like Aoi-san. Well, who coached you? And what are you doing right now? Coaching. I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't be so stiff all the time. I just can't help feeling bad for everyone. You mean everyone at Takafuji? Well, them too, but... You're thinking of everyone at this club. Forget it. Okay. Guess she doesn't want to talk about it. Maybe it has something to do with how she's always so diligent. But she never talks about herself, so I have no way of knowing. She must have a lot on her mind. Masaya-san? Yeah? Thank you very much. What for? Well, I can tell you've been thinking very hard about me, so... I want to thank you. I'm your coach. Of course I'm going to think about my players. Besides? Oh no, it's nothing. I'm sorry. Huh? The words almost slip out of my mouth. I hope it wasn't a confession, but I managed to hold them in. I can't just say, I don't want you to end... Okay, there we go. I don't want you to end up like me. That would just pressure her. Looks like we both have things we find difficult to say. Yeah, guess so. I do hope you'll tell me more about yourself one day, Masaya-san. And likewise. And I hope you'll do the same, Rika. Maybe when we become a little closer. Closer than bring me pork stew. That's more on the neighbourly side of things, wouldn't you say? Not neighbour. I've never had a neighbour in my entire life that would just come round with a bowl of pork stew. I'm not gonna lie. What? She's saying that doesn't mean much? I bet most people wouldn't make pork stew for any random friend, though. Indeed. Okay, it's a promise. Okay. That's what couples are meant to do. Share information with one another. Practice over for the day. Everyone's changed back into their uniforms, so now we're just hanging out in the club room. It's kind of chilly today. Should I make some tea? Oh yeah, that really hit the spot. I'll help you out. Huh? Hold on. Monsieur looks over at Madoka. Where did we keep the tea bags again? Under the desk, I think. If they're not there, then I don't know. You don't know? Are you in charge of the club room? Rika, where are the tea bags? Yeah, but lately I've left most of that at work to... Rika-chan. This is negligence. Negligence, I must say. Must punish her. Bring Madoka to justice. Oh, come on. Do you have any idea how much work I have on my plate? It's tough being a manager, okay? Jeez. She does always leave it sparkling clean. It is kind of dirty right now, though. Hey, don't ignore me. I wasn't complaining about you or anything, Madoka. I'm just surprised by how seriously Rika takes her work. I mean, I guess she is diligent. She always does things for me. Oh? Is she now? Yep, like, it's such a pain to clean the windows, so I never bother, but she does them without me even asking. And I figured I could get away without sorting the desk out, but she did. So you realise those are all a part of your job, but you ignore them anyway. I wonder how Rika-chan's doing. Yeah, I kind of miss her. She was fitting in real well. Yeah. It happened 5 days ago. Oh, this is some point in the future. It's been a week since you started allowing me to practice with you. I'd like to see how things are at Takafuji, so I was thinking of spending a little time practicing over there. You should just forget all that and practice here forever. I'm very happy to hear you say that, but... Asuka, Rika's a Takafuji player. Of course she's gonna want to know what's going on back there. You really have taught me a lot, so if it's not any trouble, I'd love to come back again. It's no trouble at all. You're a huge help. Yeah, totally. You're welcome anytime. There you have it. You let us practice a lot more stuff, so we're glad to have you. Thank you very much. Oh, but since you decided to go back to Takafuji for a while, what will you do about today's practice? I'm not sure. Really? Yeah, though I would love to practice with you, Asuka-san. Aw, then promise me you will next time? Okay. Asuka seems to have taken a liking to Rika, and because of that, she doesn't want to see her go. I'll definitely be back before too long. I'm looking forward to practicing with you all again. I wonder how long this will take. And now we're here. Rika-chan will come back, won't she? I'm sure she's got stuff to do at Takafuji, but yeah, we just have to wait. It's so depressing not knowing when she'll come back, though. That's what waiting for someone is like. Mashiro consoles Asuka with a mature tone. And you're talking about Misaki, aren't you? Say, why don't we just crash their practice? What do you mean? Literally what I just said. Rika-chan's taking ages to come back, so we'll go join Takafuji's practice and casually put the pressure on her. Great idea, yeah? How would that be casual? It'd be totally obvious. But it'll at least show her how we feel. No, Takafuji students have their own stuff to do. We can't just interfere. You're just saying that, senpai. I know you want Rika-san to come back quickly. Well, it would make the clubroom less of a mess. It is not a mess. I clean up. Oh my, Madoka-san, look at the windows and desks. Care to explain exactly how you've been cleaning them? Don't act like you're my mother-in-law. Managers have a lot on their plates, you hear? Having Rika here is a huge help, and we can do so much more in training, but... Then it's decided. We'll all go to Takafuji and see Rika-chan. No! No. When we decide on anything. What's the problem just going over for a visit? Great, but not listening to reason. Guess there's no stopping them now. I'm a little surprised that Mashiro is so invested, though. She's never shown a strong attachment to anyone other than Misaki before. Well, if you all insist, I'll think about it. But we can't cause any problems to Takafuji, got it? That means no demanding she returns this instant or anything. Roger. Understood. But aren't you the one who wants her to come back most, Masaya? Misaki, would you just get your head out of the gutter, for goodness sakes? What's that supposed to mean? I wonder. Think it over carefully. Misaki waves her hand and gives me a coy smile. Okay, I'll call the Takafuji Academy FC Club and ask if we can come over at some point. They can't complain if we get permission first, right? True. That is a good idea. We're going to practice at Takafuji. It'll be a good change of pace, and we get to see Rika-chan again. Masaya is already grinning like a madman. I am not. After that, we confirm a visit to Takafuji in 2 days. And are we there yet? We certainly are. It's now evening, so everything's tinged orange because of the setting sun. Tinged. Asuka's gazing out of a window. The sun's setting. Sure is. Apparently Takafuji were only having a light practice session today, after which they'd have a meeting, then end club activities for the day. Rika said she'd head right over to meet us once all that was done. We're anticipating several people from Takafuji wanting to do a joint practice session with us, so I have the girls stretching to make sure they're warmed up. God takes stretching super seriously when you're at a fancy place like this. No. You should always take it seriously. What? Did that make it sound like I don't normally take it seriously? Yes, it did. Do your stretches properly and you'll have more range of motion in your joints, which will help you during matches. How is having more range of motion in our joints an advantage? You know how you have to move your whole body when you're in dogfights? Having more range of motion helps you change course at tighter angles and stuff. Wow, it's like you've been possessed by Masaya. No! I actually asked Coach the same question once. Also, being able to move your arms means you can touch more areas. You could have just said touch areas more easily, because unfortunately that question sounds perverted. Touch more areas. Okay, that's your head in the sandbox of trash. It's not. Anyway, as I was saying, just make sure you take your stretches seriously. Yeah. Man, those Takafuji guys sure are taking their sweet time. Don't be rude. What are they up to? I bet their meeting just dragged on late. Wouldn't Rika-chan have told us that? Yeah, she does seem like the type to keep people in the loop. If she couldn't use her phone for some reason, she'd come fly to meet Masaya directly, even if it was raining. That's just for goodness sakes. Would you just shut up? Literally no one would ever do that. It's probably nothing, but we've been waiting so long that I'm getting a little nervous. Did I tell them the wrong meeting time? Oh, come on. It'll be fine. I'm sure I got it right. I hope. You sure it'll be fine? It will be. I may skip out on cleaning, but I'm the best when it comes to most other stuff. We'll see. So you're admitting you skip out on cleaning? Oh, it's from Rika. See, told you it was fine. Maybe she's about to say she's on her way. Yeah, probably. I raised my phone to my ear. Hello. My greeting is drowned out by Rika's voice. Masaya-san! Huh? I immediately tense up. What's wrong? Did something happen? Everyone stares at me, having noticed my change in tone. This is really bad. Please come to the beach at once, please. Huh? What's going on? Hello? She abruptly cut the call. I doubt she heard me. What was that? Is something wrong? Apparently something bad happened and we need to get to the beach. That's all she said. Something bad? What could it be? We should hurry. Wait, calm down. How are we supposed to calm down after hearing that? It might just be someone got hurt during practice and Rika's in a rush because of that. Oh. Madoka, have you got the first aid kit? Of course, but that just means I brought the tape, plasters and cold spray. Great, let's head over. The sun continues to set as we run towards the beach. Rika-chan! Do you think she's okay? We'll find out once we get there. From the phone call, it sounded like something had happened to one of the other club members, so at least Rika's fine. Still, I've never heard Rika so flustered before, which makes it hard not to worry. No point thinking about it now. I've got to hurry. We finally arrive at the beach. What is with that green suit? Is everyone okay? What happened here? There are 1, 2, 3 Takafuji players passed out on the sand. It looks like they've collapsed from sickness or something, but nothing indicates their lives are in danger. What a relief. But that's so strange. One, okay. It's very, very unfortunate, but okay. But 3 of them? Okay, that's really iffy. We don't know what's wrong, so don't go touching them. Moving them might make things worse. Baduga's right. No touching. Right as I say that, one of them collapsed. One of the collapsed players moans. Oh, Shadowin-san, are you okay? Asuka rushed over to Shadowin-san. What's going on? Mishira suddenly freezes. A moment later, we all notice the same thing. You. Mishira is staring at something, or rather, someone. A girl stands before us, backed by a gloomy cluster of clouds. Long arms, long legs, long hair, long body, well, everything. Other than us, she's the only one still standing. Her upper body hangs limp, like it's broken as she wiggles around like a venomous snake. Then she twists as she turns to face us. Those are so impressively flexible joints. I spot her eyes through gaps in her long hair. Those are a warrior's eyes, but that's not all. You see people's eyes transform like that during matches. It's a natural side effect of competition, but hers on a whole different level. There's a thirst for blood in them that's akin to a carnivore staring down its prey. She was one who was disqualified. She draws in a sharp breath. Something similar to fear shoots through me. I feel like she'll suck me in if I don't keep my feet rooted to the spot. What is all this? Do you know what happened here? She is the cause of this. A faint laugh echoes around me and rattles my eardrums. No, I can't give in to fear. Put on a brave front, Masaya. I asked you what the hell is going on. The girl takes a single step towards us. That alone makes us all wince and take half a step back. I feel an immense pressure flowing out from this girl. It's over. Huh? That seems to be her activation key since her grav shoes start up. She doesn't say another word before flying off toward the sea. I can hear my heart rapidly pounding my chest. Who was that? I feel like I've seen her before. I can't remember where though. Should we chase her and arrest her or something? We don't even know if she's done anything, though given the situation. No, treatment comes first. They probably have concussions, so go check if they're conscious or not, but avoid shaking them. Understood? Perhaps. Shadowin-san, are you okay? You're Asuka Kurashina and the others. I explain that everyone's going around checking on her fallen comrades. Don't worry, it seems like most of them are conscious. We'll stay with you until you've all had a chance to recover a bit. I raise my head as I hear the sound of oncoming footsteps. What on earth happened here? Shadowin-san's face is warped in shock. Behind him is Rika, who's ghostly pale. I don't know. Everyone who had a match collapsed one by one. Rika's voice is trembling. What is this? What in the world? Calm down, Rika. Panicking won't help anyone right now. Hinata-kan's right. Right. Rika gives us an awkward nod. Let's carry those who we can move to the infirmary. Roger. Understood. You should head to the infirmary too, Shadowin-san. I'm perfectly fine. Prioritize the others. What a model leader. Seriously though, what happened? None of this makes any sense. Can't you connect the dots that girl was the culprit? Guess I'll wait until things have settled down a bit to ask. We carry the people with concussions to the infirmary, then send the others from Kunahama home. Okay. Having a crowd of people from another school round among all this chaos is likely to make matters worse. I remain behind with Shindu-san, Rika and Shatawin-san. Luckily she seems to have gotten off lightly. The other students have relatively minor symptoms too, but they were still worse for wear, so we took them to the infirmary anyway. Are you sure you shouldn't go to the hospital? I'm fine. I do not have a headache nor do I feel nauseous. I believe it would be better for me to rest here than force myself to move and go to a doctor. Shatawin-san forms a faint smile in an attempt to relieve Rika's worries. However, I'll visit a doctor tomorrow morning just in case. Now then, do you think you could tell me what happened? Shatawin-san looks at me. Masaya Hinata, did you see another skywalker on the beach? Yeah, I did. A girl with really long limbs. You know who that was, don't you? Huh? Is she an acquaintance of yours? No, but it is just someone we know. Well, I feel like I've seen her before. Shatawin-san breathes an exasperated sigh. Did we not both see her at the summer tournament? The player from Dugamawa, remember? I think back to the summer tournament. There was a player from Dugamawa that was disqualified right at the start of her match. Yeah, I remember now. She's the one who got disqualified with repeatedly touching her opponents on the first line. Indeed. I believe her name was Kurobochi. Kurobochi-san, you say? What did this Kurobochi do? It was after our after-practice meeting had ended, and most of our players had gone home. 4 of us, including myself, remained behind on the beach for some personal training. We planned to stay a short while, then head out to meet the Kurihama FC club. And then, that was when Kurobochi-san appeared. She asked us to have a practice match with her. She wanted a match. We'd already finished our practice session for the day, so we declined. However, Kurobochi-san seemed very gentle and unamusing. She said she really wanted to play a match against Takafuji and begged to get a chance to learn from us. She kept on bowing, and so Hayashida-san, if I remember right, Hayashida-san's a guy in his sophomore year. Hayashida-san said that if she really insisted he'd face her, and at a point, even Shatawin-san found it hard to stop him. In hindsight, I wish I had refused. Anyone would find it hard to refuse someone who was desperately pleading. And that only gets harder once someone agrees. Stopping them there would have been impossible. When the match started, Kazumi Kawabochi immediately jumps to the second line. It was there that an intense dogfight broke out. Not long after it started, Hayashida-san started acting odd. During the dogfight? Yes, at that point, Kurobochi-san said that he seemed unwell and that he most likely had suffered a concussion. And so, we used the emergency equipment to lower Hayashida-san down to the beach. Why did the matches continue after that? We thought it was just a coincidence. Kazumi Kurobochi seemed incredibly apologetic. We all felt sorry for Kurobochi. Hayabashi-san's concussion only seemed light, so Shatawin-san and I looked after him and Aogashi-san continued the match in his place. She is a girl in her sophomore year, one of the ones who practiced with Masaki and the rest during the training camp. But before long the same thing happened. What? She came down with a concussion. She, somehow, must have leached the life out of them. I found myself gulping. At that point, Kurobochi-san looked down at Shatawin-san and I, and her lips seemed to curl up ominously. She was smiling down at us, sneering at us. She was sneering at you? That was when I realized she'd been aiming to concuss our players all along. You figured that out, but still chose to face her. Yes, though it brings me great shame So it brings me great shame to admit this. I rose to her provocation. It's weird that you lost your composure like that. You're usually pretty calm and collected. I can see that now. But you couldn't at the time. No, I'm not sure how to best describe it, but Kazumi Karaboji had this aura about her. I felt that she had a weird aura about her too. An aura, huh? Could you go into a little more detail? It was sort of terrifying. Simply watching her made my legs feel unsteady, as if I was being sucked into her. Did you get the same feeling, Shatokan? I did. I knew I shouldn't have done it, and yet, I suppose it's best to say, she kindled my fighting spirit in a negative manner instead of a positive one. Damn, that sounds intense. You do get players like that. True. They're few in number, either because it's difficult to act that way or simply because few players choose to try and learn how to. I'm not talking about people who just jeer and taunt here. These are players that provoke you with everything they have. Every single slight gesture, the look in their eyes, their expression, their hand positioning. The image of Kurobochi on the beach floats back into my mind. When I think about it, she really did feel like one of those players. Before I knew it, she was already in control, already drawing me towards her. There are times when your opponent will attack relentlessly, and you find yourself thrown off pace when your stamina depleted, and at that point, you're dancing in the palm of their hands. A similar thing in which Inui did, the one who defeated Shindo-san. It seems on this occasion, Shatoin-san was made to dance. When Shatoin-senpai started getting drawn in, I realised I probably wouldn't be able to stop the match, so I phoned Masaya-san and ran back to school to get you president. I think you made the right call. You shouldn't blame yourself either, Shatoin-san. Your opponent probably has a lot of experience. Any normal person would have given in. No, I do blame myself. I was defeated by Kazumi Karabochi in all accounts. She's as strict on herself as always. So, what caused the concussions? I'm not quite sure. I saw the first two got tangled up with her and then they ended up as you saw. Is that really all that happened? Just getting tangled up with your opponent wouldn't result in a concussion, unless there was something special about the way it occurred. Yes! The only possibility is that foul play was involved, and even then it's hard to do it without anyone noticing. Does Kurobochi have some sort of trick up her sleeve? In any case, I'm going to file an official complaint with Dogomura. This isn't something we can ignore. Go ahead, do that. Why did Kurobochi-san target us? I have no clue. Nor do I. I imagine the only way to find out is to ask her directly. You're right. Rika hangs her head and stares at her feet. Perhaps, but... I'm on my way home with Rika. The shock from what happened earlier has kept her from saying much of anything this whole time. I'd tell you not to worry, but I know you won't listen. Still, you should try to relax a little. I imagine Kurobochi would at least be banned from playing external matches after we speak to Dogomura. Yes, Dogora. I suppose. Right. Rika abruptly comes to a halt. I'm very scared. I get that. No, you don't. Oh? I don't think Kurobochi was looking down at Shatoin-san. I think she was looking down at me. Really? I think so. I can't say for certain, but I think she was targeting me. It felt like she was drawing me in. If Shatoin-senpai hadn't stood in to protect me... You're saying Shatoin-san took the fall for you? I doubt she'd ever admit it, but yes, she saw me being sucked in and then she... So what? None of that matters. Only Kurobochi's to blame for this. But if I were stronger... This isn't boxing or MMA. Giving someone a concussion isn't the mark of a strong Skywalker. If anything, it's a sign of a weak one. No, that's not what I mean. Just, if I was stronger mentally. If I'd been stronger, I wouldn't have fallen for her provocations. I could have stood firm and refused. Maybe, but there's no point brooding over that now. I'm scared. Rika's shoulders are quivering slightly. I don't know what to do if I ever face Kurabochi again. I'm worried she might hurt me. Her trembling grows more severe. It's okay. Huh? I wrap an arm around Rika's shoulders. Next time Kurabochi comes for us, I'll be her opponent. I don't know how, but I'll drive her off. Okay. Don't worry, Rika. Just trust in me. Masaya-san. Thank you very much. Rika's expression softens as she thanks me. I nod and squeeze down on her shoulders. Then, I stay there until she finally stops trembling. A friend like that in these times is what we need. I explained what happened yesterday to everyone in the club room, then leave practice in Aoi-san's hands as I head to Takafuji. I can't just ignore what happened, it's far too fresh in my mind. I shoot Rika a text to let her know that I'm on my way over. When I arrive at Takafuji's practice area, I find Shatawin-san and Rika standing alone. Oh, Masaya-san! My, if it isn't Masaya Hinata. How are you feeling, Shatawin-san? I went to the hospital this morning for a physical, but there were no abnormalities. I see. That's good to hear. What a relief. So, where's everyone else? This usual vibrant place is eerily silent. Are they outside running or something? Rika hangs her head in sorrow. No, it's today's activities have been cancelled. That was what we decided. Because of that incident yesterday. Yes. Yesterday, Kurabochi went up against 3 of Takafuji's players, Shatawin-san included, and gave them concussions. Someone proposed that we should call off today's practice at our meeting. That's understandable. Indeed, our members have grown anxious at the thought of Kasumi Kurabochi returning. I get why it's hard to practice with that thought looming over your head. Somehow, it feels like we're playing right into her hands. But I'm not the only member of this club, so this is not my choice to make. She seems to regret the fact that they're skipping practice, but she definitely made the right decision. Forcing people into action won't solve anything. Time will heal all wounds, especially once Kurabochi gets punished. So they just have to wait a little, since they're trying to manipulate their emotions. Since trying to manipulate their emotions is a bad idea. Kurabochi-san isn't the only one we called off. Kurabochi-san isn't the only reason we called off practice. What's the other reason? People rarely get concussions while playing FC, right? So some people are wondering if there was a problem with our equipment. Concussions are rare in amateur matches. I've never even heard of 3 people coming down with it in a row. It's some paranormal thing. It makes sense that some anxious club members would rather come out to that concussion mat. Though, we had a tradesman come over this morning to check our equipment just in case, but they said there were no issues. What do you plan on doing now? I wish to resume club activities as soon as possible. However, I'm not quite sure how to begin. Shatawin-san only just became president. Taking over from Shindu-san would have been hard enough even under normal circumstances. But now that this has happened, it's going to be hard to maintain morale. I realise this is sudden, but how about we start a joint training camp tomorrow? Huh? Our 2 schools, you mean? Even assuming only you and Rika join, we'll have more than enough players to actually practice. You make a good point. I think once your other club members see you practicing, they'll follow suit before too long. The least we can do right now is try and keep things moving. I agree with Masaya-san. Ichino-san, if there's someone willing to help us in this situation, I think we should accept it. I don't believe Masaya-san has any ulterior motives. I'm not sure he's completely devoid of ulterior motives. Huh? Really? I mean, getting to use your facilities free of charge is a pretty great perk. That wasn't the kind of ulterior I had in mind. What do you mean? Shattering-san grins at me for a moment, then wipes any hint of emotions from her face. I do apologize, but I would be most grateful if we could count on Kurinohama's support. You don't have to apologize. Our club members love practicing here, so it's our pleasure, really. This is going to be great. I suppose you'll be the coach in this scenario, if you're fine with me. I have no problems at all. We shall begin tomorrow then. Great. Thanks. I hear footsteps behind me. Oh, President? Hello, you're here too, Hinata-kan. Yeah, I was really concerned after yesterday, so I came back to check on you guys. I see. Well, I've just got news that they've dealt with yesterday's incident. I'm here to deliver the verdict. Does it mean Kazumi Kurobochi has been punished? She has. Rika holds her breath. Apparently she's suspended from external matches for a week. Shensen says that in a calm tone. Huh? That's all? I had assumed they would at least suspend her for the full duration of the fall tournament. She played rough enough to give 3 people concussion, and that's all she gets? The prefectural FC committee made that decision, so there's nothing we can do. Apparently Kurobochi seemed extremely apologetic about the whole thing. So they took that into consideration. Really now? She was apologetic? Huh. I remember how she looked after the incident. Is it even possible for her to feel remorse? Shattering-san's shoulders slump as she sighs. If that is their decision, then we must abide by it. But, are you really okay with this, Shattering-senpai? How I feel doesn't matter. There's nothing more we can do. It's unfortunate, but she's right. It's our word against hers. You mean they think we're lying? No, but we have no evidence. It's not like we have any witnesses. But... Rika, you are the strongest witness. The person in question was apologetic, and the whole thing could very well have been an accident. It's hard for them to punish her any harder because of that. But 3 people actually got concussions! Shattering-san speaking softly, seemingly suppressing her emotions while Rika seems to be giving in to her anger. It's my fault for raising to her provocations. Next time I won't accept her challenge. Or, if I do, I won't fall in the face of her cheating anyways. Her cheating ways, sorry. Shadowcan's right. There will always be players like her out there. The best thing we can do is think of a way to deal with them. I guess so. By the way, Shindo-san, what do you think Kurobochi did out there? Given those long limbs of hers, I imagine she most likely used pincers. We're on the same page, huh? Huh? What do you mean by pincers? You're aware that holding your opponent between both your arms or both your legs is against FC rules, correct? Rika thinks for a moment. Oh yes, I'm aware. It's not allowed because it's dangerous. It's more accurate to say that it can be dangerous. Skywalkers are covered by anti-gravity membranes, meaning there's no risk for injury even when they collide. When you're caught in a pincer move, the impact of your membrane gets transferred directly to you. So the anti-gravitons are used against you in that case. So therefore, rather than keeping things from going in, the membranes are going in you. For example, say you take an impact on your right side, usually you'd be moved left from the force. However, if your left side is held down, then that force is bounced straight back to your right. Membranes allowed Skywalkers to pull off some insane moves. Thanks to them, air kick turns and cobras are possible, but at the same time, the force comes in from both directions and, having no way to escape, concentrates in the middle. In the middle, yes, the user. When I say the middle, I mean the middle of the membrane. There's no danger to a player's internal organs. However, depending on the direction of the forces, it can cause concussions or even light sprains. You watched her matches. Did you even see her holding her opponents between her arms or legs? It was dark, and they kept switching places during the dogfight, so I can't say for sure. I feel like it may have happened though. Do you remember anything, Shatterwind-san? You actually faced her. I believe my head might have been held from behind. However, I lost consciousness rather quickly, so I don't recall much. I see. People tend to lose memories of what happened right before they get a concussion. It's hard to pull off a pincer move, since you have to be extremely close to your opponent. Any cautious guy could avoid it for the most part, and that's what bothers me. Her long limbs allow her to do that. Let me guess. You're wondering how she managed to pull it off 3 times in a row? It's impossible to get a concussion unless the impact to your membrane is directed at your head, but I have no idea of how someone can do that intentionally. For now, let's not concern ourselves with Kawabochi. Does that sound good? Yes. Rika nods, trying to conceal her dissatisfaction. Should I join you tomorrow as well? Honestly, there are many things I wish I could ask for you, but I have to refrain. Why? This is a state of emergency. That's exactly why. Takafuji has no future if we have to rely on our previous president at a time like this. This may be a rather difficult ordeal, but we must work through it on our own. I understand. I expect great things from you. I'll strive to live up to your expectations. Shatterwind-san bows deeply, her mouth a tight, straight line. Rika's held her head tilted downward as we walked in silence, but she suddenly raises it. I can't forgive Kawabochi-san. Same here. But, well, there are 2 ways you can deal with that feeling. There are? Yes, there are times when you can't forgive someone, so you want nothing to do with them, as well as times where you can't forgive someone, so you want to face them in a match. She actually wants to fight her. I take a long, hard look at Rika. Huh? Did I say something strange? Is it strange of me to want to face her? No, you didn't. I'm just surprised that's your first thought, I guess. What do you mean? Like, you want to settle things in a match against an opponent who fights dirty. I've just realised she has that competitive side to her. Can't believe I didn't think of that before. I mean, no one plays a competitive sport without it, so of course she does. In fact, I'm pretty sure that side of her came out after her match with Misaki at the summer tournament. I want to beat that cheater in a fair and square match, and make her realise the error of her ways. You're surprisingly passionate at times, Rika. I don't think that's true. Well, I know exactly how you feel. She gave 3 people concussions. It might be weird to say she wants to avenge them, but I understand why she wants to settle things with a match. Still, I think our best bet is to not get involved with her. I realise that. I do. It seems like she's used to bending the rules and playing dirty. No matter what you try, she'll end up running circles around you. Yes, I know that, but if we leave things be, aren't we just letting Kawabochi-san get away with her crimes? Maybe, but if we avoid her entirely, things won't get any worse. You're right. I'm sorry. I know that's the right choice, but I just... You understand, but you don't agree with it. Yes, but I'm trying to. I want to support our new president as well as I can. I'm sure Shatterwind-senpai has it worse than any of us. Yeah, but hey, I'm sure all the support you're giving her gets a huge load off of her shoulders, Rika. Please stop that. Stop what? I still have a lot to learn. I really do. And that's why I'm trying my best to be of use to Shatterwind-senpai. You're fine as you are, Rika. Oh no, I really do have a long way to go. She aims a faint smile at me as she says that. Okie dokie. The next day. The first day to our joint training camp comes to an end, and Shadow-san bows to us. Thank you all for coming here today to help us practice. We couldn't have resumed our club activities without you. It was a most satisfying practice session. The only participants from Takafuji were Shadow-san and Rika, but I'm sure the rest will come back if we keep this up. Oh no, thank you. Practicing at Takafuji gets me totally pumped. Yeah, all of us worked super hard today. Seriously? That's it? Why don't you two try working this hard every day? Meh. Thank you very much for today. Thank you too. I had so much fun practicing with you, Rika-chan. Rika smiles, seemingly full of cheer. I'm very happy to hear that. Thank you again. You're always so polite, Rika-chan. Yes, sorry. You don't need to apologize for that. Yes, so... Well, for God's sake. Aww. Everyone lets out a little laugh after watching Shadow-san gives a small nod. Let's end today's practice here. We'll gather at the same time tomorrow. Asuka raises a hand. What's up? I want to practice some more. Wow, Asuka's firing on all cylinders today. Rika-chan taught me the scissors, and I feel like I'll get the hang of it if I just push myself a little harder. In that case, I'll stay behind and do some extra practice with you. I get a feeling that something bad will happen if we stay behind today. Yay, thank you so much. Well, I'm your coach, so I've got to stay behind too. I must remain behind as well since I am responsible for you all. Yeah, because we are technically on Takafuji ground. I'm sorry, I don't think I'll trouble all of you. I'll try to keep this short. You know, I doubt she'll succeed. Asuka's definition of short is pretty different from everyone else's. That's not true, I think. You don't need to worry, I'll learn a whole lot while flying with you, Asuka-san. It is important to provide your body enough rest. Indeed it is. Shadow-san casts her gaze over on our whole group. I'll ask everyone else to head home for today. It's important to know when to stop practicing, and we do not want this to become a habit. I'm really sorry. It's fine to do it on occasion as long as you make sure to practice hard. I will. Okay, we'll head on home then. Good work out there today. Yeah, nice job. Catch you all tomorrow. After that, the Takafuji club members also say their goodbyes and head out. Right then, let's get started. Yes, that sounds great. Masaya Hinata. Shadow-san quietly calls out my name as she stands next to me, looking up at Rika and Asuka. What is it? I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't come to our aid. Yeah, yesterday. I never once imagined my club members would come to dislike practicing, yet all it took was a momentary panic. This is a truly embarrassing moment in our proud history. You have my eternal gratitude. Thank you. Oh, it's fine. We get a ton out of practicing with Takafuji, so why don't we just say we're even? Shadow-san lets out a short chuckle. Very well then. But just so you know, we won't hold back if we face any of you in the fall tournament. You know what, that would be disrespectful if you did hold back, you know. And neither will we. I'd have it no other way. With that, we return to watching Asuka and Rika practicing. And she's giving off that aura. Rika suddenly comes to a halt and is looking down from the field to an area behind where we're standing. What's wrong? As I say this, I turn around. Ah! I spot a familiar figure with long arms and legs. You again. Kurabochi. She's staring fixedly at us, as if judging the situation. Ah! I take a step toward her without even thinking about what to do or say when. Wait, Masaya Hinata! Shadow-Sen holds out a hand to restrain me. This is our problem. I understand. I might just complicate things by getting involved. Shadow-Senpai! Coach! The two of them descend and turn off their grav shoes. Would you mind leaving this to me? Okay. Rika gives a firm nod. Then Shadow-Sen takes a step forward towards Kawabochi. I don't suppose you're willing to tell me why you've come? Kawabochi remains silent, and eventually she suddenly bows in a way that makes it seem like her spine has snapped in two. I came to apologize for yesterday. You did? Yes, I came to apologize. Tears are forming in Kawabochi's eyes. I truly am sorry for what happened. What the hell? She doesn't seem to be messing around, but it also doesn't look like a serious apology. No, maybe that's not quite right. It makes me feel uncomfortable, like I'm wrong for not taking it seriously. I can only hope for your forgiveness. If there's been a misunderstanding, I'd like to take this chance to clear it up. A misunderstanding? About what? Kawabochi repeatedly bows her head in apology. Since I end up giving you all concussions. Concussions? Misunderstanding? You mean you wish to say that it was all accidental? Huh? The discomfort has grown inside me. Where is it coming from? Sheesh! Kawabochi's face remains deadly serious, but the corners of her mouth are slowly rising. Before long, an ominous smile has taken over her face. Oh, I guess there was no misunderstanding. What do you mean? You realize I did it on purpose. What's so funny? The fact that you've actually managed to face reality. I'm asking you why that's so funny. You're scared of me after what happened, aren't you? And yet you're forcing yourself to stand strong. It's hilarious. So what now? You aren't just going to let this slide, right? Not after I humiliated 3 players from the ever so noble Takafuji. I have no intention of humoring you. Kawabochi suddenly puts on a charming smile. Yes, you're right, I understand. Understand what? This is bad. Shadow-Sen's raises her provocations. I know I should find a way to stop this, but I feel like I'll just make things worse if I mishandle this. Man, she's really good at provoking people. I mean, her words aren't anything too special. I'm sure there are tons of people better at getting a rise out of others that way. But Kawabochi's facial expressions and gestures are incredible. Though it may be more accurate to say it's thanks to her precise movements of her facial muscles instead of her expressions themselves. Her intentions are painfully clear. There's scorn behind that charming smile. And that gap is what gets under your skin. But that's not all. You can feel something lurking beneath her charming smile and virtuous actions. Her exaggerated bows make that obvious enough. Simply watching her piece you off, all her actions get under your skin. Wait, that aura. I can feel a dark aura swirling around Kawabochi. This must be what Shadow-Sen was talking about. I'm sorry. I truly do feel awful about it. After saying that, she exhales an explosive breath. But you know, I honestly thought the last person would have been more vigilant after seeing me humiliate 2 of her friends. Wait, who was that last girl again? Leave at once! I have no intention of speaking to you. Oh, please don't say that, pretty please. Kawabochi keeps up her cheerful tone as she continues. You feel so bad about it that you want to cry, don't you? Well, that's why I'm here. Why not take this change to get your revenge? Whatever do you mean? You prohibited from taking part in external matches. My suspension lasts for a week from tomorrow, which I'm sorry to say means I'm free for today. Don't be absurd. What's so absurd about it? Like I said, I'm only suspended starting tomorrow, so I can face as many people as I want right now. Come on, now's your chance to hurt me. Don't you want to avenge your comrades? Let's do it. Let's have an extra fun match. Nah. Shattering-san's shoulders tense up. Shattering-san! Masaya Hinata, I'll be fine without you taking that concerned tone with me. Shattering-san raises a hand to her mouth. I noticed Kurobochi gulp at a sudden outburst of laughter. Your repeated provocations are pointless. I shall not face you. Now, leave this place at once. Why are you still laughing? Someone behind you seems to have a different opinion. Huh? Rika's face has gone bright red. She's seething with anger. It's ballooned inside her, threatening to explode at any moment. I thought her silence was strange, but I never expected her to get this worked up. Do I really have to stay silent after all she's done? She's provoking you. Don't get angry, you have to ignore it. You think it's that easy? I doubt it is. Feels like all I have to do is shout go and clap her on the shoulder to make her snap and charge right at Kurobochi. How dare you talk to Shattering Senpai like that? Why don't we have a match then? Come on, it'll be fun. I mean, look here. I went and got all the paperwork ready and everything. What paperwork? I felt bad about interrupting you last time, so I made real sure to write up a proper proposal. Would you really refuse a formal request? Rika's anger intensifies. Listen, you have to calm down. If you agree to a match right now, you'll be playing right into her hands. I know that. I do. Rika turns to face Kurobochi with a stiff expression on her face. I will not have a match with the likes of you. Don't do this. Kurobochi suddenly stoops forward like her head has literally fallen off, then twists her neck to look at Rika from below. Too bad. Her lips form a grin. The movements on her hand alone makes her scorn and disdain overwhelmingly obvious. Few people can remain calm under so much abuse. I don't plan on leaving until I have a match. Her long hair flutters ominously. And I have no intention of playing a match. Me neither. Can I... Ahsoka! No. Yeah. I like to face Kurobochi-san. Oh, here, I'm fine with anyone. Do you even realize what you're saying? There's something off about Kurobochi-san, I think. FC is fun, right? It's strange for someone to act like this about something fun, and also very interesting. I wish you'd find this kind of stuff less interesting. You do? Still, I want a match. She plays dirty. You don't want to end up with a concussion, do you? I'm also interested in that. Well, don't be. But I just don't get it. Why would someone play dirty? That's what I want to find out. Asuka Kuroshina, you mustn't rise to her provocations. Oh no, I wasn't. She really isn't, Shattering-san. Huh? Asuka just truly loves FC. That's why she's doing this. Innocent, naive individuals often can't control their words and actions. And that's what's happening to Asuka right now. I just want to do this because I'm interested. Kurobochi-san is incredibly interesting. Oh, well, now you've said that, I'm also developing an interest in you. Kurabochi lets out a refreshing laugh, then approaches us in a way that makes it look like she's dragging her long limbs behind her. We'll have a match. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, let's. No, you can't. But coach, no buts. But... Ugh. Asuka's eyes sparkle. Please let me do it. I can sense that Asuka's moved beyond simple interest to determination. Maybe she has a plan to deal with whatever Kurabochi throws at her. Or maybe she feels this is important for more personal reasons. I'm not really sure what her reasoning is, but her gaze is so powerful that it makes me falter. Kurabochi already has Shattering-san and Rika exactly where she wants them. So given the situation, they'd have no chance of beating her. But Asuka hasn't been sucked in by her at all. All she's done is develop an interest. Honestly, Asuka might just have a shot here. Actually, I think she has a pretty good chance of winning even. I imagine Kurabochi's strategy revolves around getting into their opponent's head, so she's safe from there. You can say in a way that she's oblivious. Now, what to do? Huh? You're going to say yes, aren't you? Before I know it, Kurabochi is staring straight at me. Sure. Yay! Masaya Hinata! Masaya-san? A shiver runs down my spine. I caved completely, and if she hadn't chosen the exact moment to ask him that exact time, I may not have agreed. Where'd she learn to do all this? She's terrifying. Fear runs through me. But Asuka... I'm so excited! She's smiling without even a hint of fear on her face. Asuka, who loves discovering new things, should fly right by Kurabochi's traps. After that, Kurabochi goes to change into her flight suit, and when she returns, she immediately says something that makes me feel uneasy. I don't have a second, so please don't use one against me. Hey, wait, I never approved of any rule changes! Kurabochi smiles provocatively. I'll be waiting at first. Please try to make it quick. She takes a cautious step back. It's over. Then she says her ominous activation key and flies off toward first. Masaya-san! Rika suddenly closes in on me. Stop that, Ichino-san. But he said we can't rise to her provocations. She manipulates her opponents perfectly. Masaya Hinata can't be blamed. Shattering-san's already faced Kurabochi once, so she knows him better than anyone. Besides, he knows Arasaki Kirishino very well. That's likely why he was willing to accept her challenge. Yeah, I think Asuka can win. Personality-wise, she's the perfect person to fight Kurabochi. I am? Probably, yeah. I don't want to say this to them, but I think the odds are in our favour. If I felt differently, I never would have accepted this in the first place. I understand. Please do your best out there, Asuka-san. I will. I know I was being all cheerful earlier, but I'm doing this for all of you too. I see. Yes, I don't think we should just let her walk all over us. There is really no need for you to concern yourself with this matter. No, please let me. I want to win this match for you all. Asuka really thought this all through, huh? Asuka? Yes? I don't know much about Kurabochi, but I do know a bit about players who like to fight dirty. You find some who are like that in higher levels of FC. Usually your opponent gets a point if you break the rules, but there are players who will throw away that point in order to take control of the game. You're saying their style is to run the match at their own pace? Exactly. You won't find many players like that at the student level, but are a bunch in this pro scene. All things considered, it's probably good that you get to experience it now. I want to play against a lot of different people. However, I give Asuka an extremely stern gaze to give her to submit to me. Yes? If you think things are getting too dangerous, forfeit at once. Promise. I promise. Okay, then the first thing you need to do is be careful on the first line. Why the first line? During the summer tournament, she pretended to accidentally bump her floats into her opponent enough times to get disqualified for it. Watch out for her doing the same here. She bumped her floats into them? Can you do that on purpose? I've never actually thought about No, don't do that! Not normally, no. The membrane cover your body also covers your floats. Usually they just trail behind you as you fly. You're right, I never pay attention to them during a match. Don't you think you'll be able to swing them around like you do when your grav shoes are turned off if the membrane covering them are really thin though? Maybe, but you can actually weaken only a specific part of the membrane. Oh, is that something you could tweak in your grav shoe settings? No, I mean, if someone did that, there'd be proof of them playing dirty. The solution is just to use a special agent. What do you mean? There's a special agent made for dioxine that inhibits the membrane. There are various options on why this works, but no one has a clear answer yet. It's hard to imagine it would affect the anti-gravitons themselves, so people believe it affects the equipment producing them instead. However, there's no real proof either way. If we know the trick, shouldn't an inspection of her suit clear things up? You'd figured as much, but that doesn't work. For some reason, shaking around whatever you've smeared the agent on makes the effect vanish. If it looks like you're about to be inspected, you just have to casually shake around a bunch. Wow. If you keep on shaking during a tournament, the officials will consider it intentional foul play, but otherwise it's hard to tell. Plus, cheaters are rare enough, so they're slow to actually inspect them. This isn't something normal then. It's a special kind of foul play. If you get caught, you'd be immediately disqualified. I glance up at Kurabochi, who's waiting by first. If we ask to inspect her suit, she'll just shake the agent off ahead of time. We'll escape her trick that way, but I think we should just face it head on. Okay, let's do that. Asuka gives a firm nod. If you manage to avoid that, she'll feel pressured because you know her tricks, and who knows, that may throw her off her game. We'll use it to turn the tables on her. People who fight dirty may seem strong, but that's only because most people don't practice with them in mind. If we show we know what we're up against, she might self-destruct. I understand. I just have to keep her from taking control of the game. Exactly. Basically, she's trying to swing her floats at you when you start, so stay out of her reach. Okay, this match will be decided right away from the first line. Yeah, but once you get through that, watch out during dogfights. She'll definitely try to use those long limbs to pincer you. I told her about pincer moves yesterday. Kurabochi may have a long reach, but as long as you remain cautious, you should be able to avoid getting pincered. She won't get a chance to even try unless they get real close. If it does happen, just start flailing your arms and legs around like a little kid thrown into a tantrum. Asuka spins her arms around. Like this? Yep, that's it. That should stop her from getting close to you. Normally doing that with your opponent close would just throw off your balance and provide an opening for them to exploit. However, I figure you can have to adopt a specific pose to use pincers, and in that case it should be hard to build up speed. Thanks to that, shaking the limbs around wildly should be an effective strategy. And if Kurabochi really does go for a pincer attack, I'll take that chance to intervene. Focus on speed during dogfights and circle around her from a distance while targeting her back. We don't want you exchanging blows at close range. Understood. Alright, then go out there and give her hell. Roger. Don't get too reckless, you hear? I won't. Asuka gives me a firm nod, activates her grav shoes and flies over to first. This is quite something. Sorry, I know I shouldn't have given her into her demands like that. No, I was talking about how you thought up a method to counter Kazumi Kurabochi already. Oh well, I've been thinking about it for a while. Actually, figured one of my players might have to face her someday. Can't say I expect it to happen this soon though. Masaya-san? Rika seems unsatisfied. Why'd you give Asuka-san permission when you won't give it to me? Because there'd be no point in you fighting her right now. What do you mean? You're too worked up. She'd have you in the palm of her hand if you fought her right now. No, but... See? You just proved that you can't control your anger. I'm not trying to be mean here, okay? If you think about it carefully, I'm sure you understand I'm right. Yes, I do. Rika barely managed to squeeze out those words. She understands but can't accept it. We never decide on a referee. Allow me to do the honors. Shatterwind-san says that, then flies up to join the two girls in the sky. I still have a lot to learn, don't I, Masaya-san? Even coaches have a lot to learn. There's sorrow in her eyes. You're getting better by the day, but I can't let you face Kawabochi right now. Right now? Rika reflects on my words, then falls silent. Kawabochi waits by first, a sharp smile cutting across her face. You're actually gonna fight me, huh? I'm looking forward to it. You should refrain from idle chatter. The match is about to begin. Kawabochi glares at Shatterwind-san. Come on, let's start this already. Silence! Kashimi Kawabochi. It's too bad I couldn't face you, princess. Shatterwind-san ignores Kawabochi's rather obvious provocation. Are you ready, Asuka Kurashina? Sure am. Okay, ready, set. She pauses and sucks in a deep breath. Go! I heard Kawabochi's a speeder. Meanwhile, Asuka's an all-rounder. Under normal circumstances, Kawabochi wouldn't even bother trying to take on her, Asuka. Time to get going. Ah! Asuka shoots forward with Kawabochi in tow. Since Asuka's shoes give her better initial velocity, she remains in the lead. I just hope she can keep this up. I'm not sure how far Kawabochi would take things, but at the pace she's going, she'll catch up to Asuka on either the second or third lines. Here I go! Asuka twists her hips to the side, moving her lower body like she's launching into a dolphin kick. Oh? What's Asuka-san's planning? Asuka moves into the scissors. The serpentine scissors is used in dogfights to make your opponent overshoot you and grant you access to their back. There's no need to use it on the first line during a competition of speed. Oh, actually, this is good. Why didn't I think of this before? How is this good? Without a second, it's pretty easy to lose track of where your opponent is, but when you're doing scissors, your move is like a snake, so you just have to tilt your neck to see where your opponent is. Oh, I see. This might even confuse Kawabochi. Asuka-san managed to think that up without any instructions from you? Asuka's a real creative Skywalker. Creative, you say? Ah! Kawabochi's accelerating, seemingly irritated. Be careful, Asuka. Kawabochi's closing the gap now. You know what's about to happen, right? You're gonna be okay, right? Here she comes, Asuka. She's right behind you. God damn it, it's hard not being able to scream into my headset. You can do it, Asuka. Sha! A sharp, grating sound erupts from Kawabochi's mouth as she thrusts both her hands forward. Her float shifts forward in sync with her movements. Yeah, this is looking real ominous. She's not selling you a date, right? Too slow. Those floats cut right through the space Asuka was just in. She managed to pull off a high yo-yo at a perfect moment. Damn you! But Kawabochi immediately brakes and turns upward to target Asuka's feet, This time, she swings her floats without even trying to pretend it's an accident. No way! Asuka curls up her legs to dodge them. Nah! Ugh. Asuka shifts straight into a half rotation forward, then starts diving toward the boy. Sheesh! Shaking her floats for a second time has completely ruined Kurobochi's form, means she can't give chase. I'll take the first point. Asuka-san is incredible. Ah! Asuka uses recoil from the boy to move down the second line, while Kurobochi gives chase. Not only did she dodge Kurobochi's attack, but she also scored a point. What an impressive display! Asuka smoothly accelerates off her boy touch. Kurobochi, on the other hand, recovers her form and jumps to the second line, though it doesn't seem like she has any hope of catching Asuka. Ah! Asuka seems to be aiming for the third. Ah! If she can score 2 points off, 2 points off boys against a speeder, she'll be in a comfortable lead, and after that, she can just hold Kurobochi in a dogfight on the third line until time runs out. She's got this in the bag. Asuka also has the option of ignoring third and challenging Kurobochi to a dogfight on the second. Some players would get carried away by their success and immediately try to control the match. However, ignoring your immediate advantage in favour of long-term gains is a smarter strategy. Yep. Asuka's got a great mind for FC. Alright. Asuka touches third. And she is obviously irritated. Kurobochi is still far behind her. She's slowly chasing after Asuka, who's now moved down the third line. Something seems off. You're right. Kurobochi isn't picking up enough speed. This is odd. Do you think her ground shoes are malfunctioning? Dunno, this could all be a feint. Huh? Asuka seems confused by all of this, as she's constantly looking back to check on Kurobochi as she flies. Nah. It's clear that Kurobochi's grown impatient. Maybe she thinks it's too awkward to say her ground shoes are malfunctioning after how she taunted us. And then she jumps to the fourth line. Kurobochi jumps to the fourth line. And touch. 3. Touches fourth, which makes it 3-0. Do you think she has a plan? Probably. Asuka picks up speed as she soars down the fourth line. Ah! And somehow she managed to shoot right past Kurobochi, who was waiting for her on the latter fourth half of the line. And touch! The moment Asuka goes to touch first, Kurobochi calls out to her, which slows her down. Kirishina-san, there's something I'd like to talk about. What a beautiful voice. The wind is carrying it all the way to my ears. Kirishina-san, there's something I'd like to discuss. No, don't! A shiver runs down my spine. Kurobochi has her head hung, so Asuka can't make out her expression. But I can see her from down here. That beautiful voice is coming from the most ruthless of faces. The corners of her mouth and eyes begin to curl up as she moves closer to Asuka. Huh? Kurobochi, you wouldn't! I have to get Asuka out of there. Move! Just get away from there! Run! Shattering-san cries out to her as well. Huh? Actually, I lied. Kurobochi stabilizes her form. It was a feint all along. Kurobochi spreads her limbs wide like a flying squirrel, then slams her entire body into Asuka. Asuka! Yeah, that is what you call dirty play. Kurobochi! Asuka's stuck between Kurobochi and the boy. This is no different from being caught in pincers, with force being applied to the membrane there's nowhere to go, so it concentrates inside. Under normal circumstances, it's easy enough to free yourself quickly and avoid injury. However, the way Kurobochi spreads out increases her contact points with Asuka, which also multiplies the force exerted several times over. Ah! Simply having that increased force applied through her body would hurt, but depending on where it gets released. Asuka could get a concussion. Ah! Asuka's expression is blank. Fly! I activate my grav shoes and shoot up into the air. Ha 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 ha. Kurabochi's eyes are bloodshot. Nah! I use Shattering Sand like a footstool to propel myself higher as I move to try and stop Kurabochi. Heh! Asuka hangs limp as Kurabochi moves to attack her from above. A suicider? She's trying to push Asuka into the water. Come on, I can make it. Nah! I slide between them and thrust both my arms up towards Kurabochi. Nah! Gah! The recoil sends her flying up and me down. My arms go numb from the jolt of the impact. She actually tried to use a suicide on Asuka after giving her a concussion. But blank was that? What? You angry? Come on, I was just trying to teach her a lesson in humility. Get the hell away from us. This pathetic excuse of a match is over. You're disqualified. That was one of the dirtiest tricks I've ever seen. Slamming your opponent into a boy is immediate grounds for disqualification. Being disqualified counts as a win in my book. I shall file a stern complaint with Dog Mora. I shall not allow you to get away with this. Do whatever you want. You're the only one left. Huh? Kurabochi sends those parting remarks in Ruka's direction before flying off. Coach? Asuka's eyes flicker open. The match is over. Let's get you down and turn off your grav shoes. It's over? I'll explain later. For now, let's focus on getting back to the ground. Okay. When we approach the ground, Asuka turns off her grav shoes and lands. Are you okay, Asuka-san? Yeah, I think I am. Does it hurt anywhere? Hurt? Oh, my wrist. The pain slowly creeps up on her. Sheesh! That's gotta be a sprain. Your wrist is swelling up. No way. This is horrible. Let me take a look. Shattering Sand examines Asuka's hand. This is absurd. I should have stopped them earlier, even if it meant putting myself in harm's way. No, this is my fault. I knew she'd play dirty, but I thought her main goal would still be winning. I should have predicted this. Please don't worry. It's really my fault for once to face her. Besides, an injury like this will heal in It won't heal in no time. Asuka tries to raise her hand. Ouch! It's obvious that the sprain won't heal nearly as fast as she's claiming. Don't move. I'll get the cold spray and bandages. Thanks. Let's head to the hospital after I finish bandaging you up. Shut up! You gotta do this! The forced smile on Asuka's face pains me. I can't forgive her for this. I just can't! Rika mutters to herself in anger. I see. That's what happened, huh? I informed Aoi-san and Shirase-san about the whole affair. That's insane. She already has a reputation as a dirty player, but she's still at it. Yes, indeed. Unfortunately, she's still at it. Okay, folks, we're going to pick this up in the next time. So, it seems like we've got ourselves a pretty sticky situation here with this ominous individual. Thank you so much for watching, and see you all in the next time. Thank you all so much for watching, and take care of yourselves.